What are the best changes in the Binding of Isaac Repentance Plus? Welcome to the video. I am back yet again with my good friend Turt here. Say hi, Turt.
My name's Turt, and I hate this update because they removed a D4 bug.
Thank God they removed D4 bug. I was so tired of hearing about it. But yes, so as you can see, we are ranking all of the changes in the online update here. We have the little change log here. You can see all the different buffs, and I'm actually almost fully blind to it. So Turt's gonna be basically guiding me through here. I'm excited to react to all the different buffs and stuff. Speaking of buffs though, we are going to be doing a separate buffs list based on how much the buff actually impacted the item.
How powerful the buff is.
Exactly, how powerful it is. This is just our first reaction. The update actually hasn't even come out yet, so I'm just excited to read through this stuff, and we're just going to talk about it. It'll be a fun discussion video.
Just first impression, basically how like good it will feel to be in the game, stuff like that. Just is it a good change? Basically?
Exactly. Is it a good change? Like design based. So make sure you subscribe if you're interested in all the debates and everything. The support helps out a lot. Anyway, first item. What are we thinking about my man Tammy's head here?
Tammy's head reduced the duration of the animation when using Tammy's head, allowing Isaac to fire more quickly after use. So this is nice because one of the issues with Tammy's head is you kind of use it and then you can't actually shoot for a while, which kind of limits how much damage you can do. It's nice. It's not that important, but it's okay.
I do wonder how long it'll take. Again, it's hard because we haven't tested these items yet, but I would imagine that's kind of mid, or maybe that's pretty cool.
I would say mid or right, so I would say probably just leave it
okay,
mid.
then just do mid. Okay, maybe to be fair, I am one of the very few Tammy's head enjoyers, so maybe I'm a little biased.
Yeah. But hey, maybe it's better than we expect. Maybe it's like instant.
Yeah, maybe it's insane. you get brimstone and you just like destroy everything. You actually kill Blue Baby in one shot.
True.
Anyway, but yeah.
Lemon Mishap slightly increases the size of the puddle. Also, the puddle will now persist until Isaac exits the room. So now you get 100% uptime on this. So you could actually like use this in the mother fight. Just in the middle of the room, and she would keep running over it. That actually, wait, that's the first time I thought of that.
Wait.
That actually sounds kind of good.
Actually sounds kind of, wait, so it'll stay no matter what. Wait, that's actually a good buff. That's actually a good buff.
The size of the puddle is bigger, and it stays for the whole room.
Wait.
You have it for a full boss fight.
New top tier active item.
Wait, you go into the middle of the Hush room, you just drop it down, and then it's going down to Hush the entire
and it's
fight.
bigger too. I wonder how much bigger. It does say slightly.
It does say slightly. This actually sounds good. I think this is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Wait, that actually
good.
is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I wouldn't say insane, but
it still doesn't hit flying enemies. It's still Lemon Mishap. You're probably getting a better active. But that being said, if you're stuck with this item, like you
honestly,
can't replace it.
It doesn't seem that bad. Yeah, I feel like it's not.
What if this is one of your Hush room items? Is one of your Hush room items, use it just for Hush, and then take your old item back.
That's insane change. Oh my god. Anyway, I do like that though.
I'm surprised.
That is actually a nice change. I like that. What's
Mega Bean creates a catastrophic fart that sweeps the entire room.
Catastrophic fart.
This one we need, again, the update's not actually out yet, we can't test it in-game. We'll do that for the boss video.
Catastrophic.
I don't know how big the fart is. How big is the fart, is the question.
I just love the vocabulary. The catastrophic fart.
I don't know how big the hitbox in this is now. It doesn't cover the whole room. It sweeps the entire room, apparently. That... I don't know.
Oh, is it like the bean? Like the toot, like when you get hit, it's probably like that, right? Like when you get hit.
No, this is Mega Bean, the one that does like the big fart and has like the rock waves come out.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna do more of that. I think it's gonna do more.
More rocks, you think?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Or maybe like more. I don't know. I think it's just gonna like. I don't know.
I'm a little bit hard to rank, admittedly. We could just do mid, or I mean, it's alright.
I'm gonna put it in mid, I think. I'll put it above Tammy's head. It's really hard to tell with just the wording.
That's fine. That's fine. What do we think about my man Milk, though?
Milk. The familiar now follows closely behind Isaac and blocks shots. After 10 hits, the glass will break and give Isaac a tiers upgrade for the remainder of the floor.
The floor? Pause.
Yeah. So before, this is like completely a different item now. Before, when you got hit with Milk, it would drop the milk and you get a tears up for the room. But now it's kind of like Guppy's hairball, where it just follows behind you and blocks shots. Oh no, it's like Dry Baby. Wait, no, yeah, that's more like Dry Baby. It's like Dry Baby, but once it gets hit 10 times, you gotta Tears Up. So you can use this in a Hush fight, or the Mega Satan fight, stand behind it like Dry Baby, and then eventually it will break and you get a Tears Up. That's
I wonder how much of a Tears Up, though.
Probably the same as it used to give, which is, it breaks Cap, by the way. That Tears Up breaks Cap.
Okay, it breaks Cap, that's nice. Do you think that
sounds decent.
Do you think it's more impactful than Lemon Mishap?
I think it is more impactful than Lemon Mishap just because Lemon Mishap is an active and you're gonna be
Okay, no, but we gotta think about it for a second, right? I think Lemon Mishap was worse than Milk. So the buff to Lemon Mishap's more relevant than the buff to Milk.
Maybe.
You feeling me? You feeling me? Come on, now we can actually consider Lemon Mishap late game, bro.
Yeah, maybe. I also think if we consider like this list as like how much did the item need to change? I feel like Lemon Mishap really needed it. I feel like Milk actually didn't need it as much.
Not really, no.
I
thought it was fine.
It wasn't a great item, but it was still a Tears Up for an entire boss fight effectively.
Yeah, it was fine.
During a boss
fight.
You're
usually gonna get hit once anyway. But Lemon Mishap, you always drop that crap.
Actually, because of that reason, I think we put Tammy's head in alright. I think Tammy's head isn't going to be that much better than it used to be. I think Mega Bean will be a fair bit better than it used to be. I think Lemon Mishap's a lot better than it used to be. And I think Milk is fine.
Well, okay, should we... But remember, we're talking about how much we really like the change. Do we like Lemon Mishap enough to be insane changed? Probably not.
Probably not.
This is fine. I do like it, though. Yeah. I think it's a cool little rework.
If we're doing this list based on, like, how cool the buff is, or, like, how much it actually changes, Tammy said he's barely changing. Mega Bean can stay in mid because I feel like, based on what I've read, I feel like it's actually going to be kind of strong now. Like, it's actually maybe going to be good at clearing rooms. And a Lemon Mishap and Milk, I feel like Milk especially is like a very creative change. I think it's a completely different item now, and it feels better too. And then I think Lemon Mishap actually has a use case now. Like, you can actually use Lemon Mishap unironically now.
No, I agree. I'm kind of excited to use Lemon Mishap now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we should put Milk above just because it's creative.
I think because it's really creative. I think the Lemon Mishap change is cool, but I think it's fairly obvious. But the Milk change, they really just did a completely different item.
That is true. Yeah, they literally completely changed it. That's fine. But Lemon Mishap's that guy, though. Lemon Mishap's always been bad. Whatever. What is this? Delirious?
Delirious. Okay, this was like an obvious change that I thought would happen, but I'm happy it happened. Summoned bosses will now persist through rooms, thank God. Only one boss can be active at a time. The charge is now variable based on the quality of the previously summoned boss. I didn't expect that, but that's like, wow, that's really good. So it's not going to be 12-room charge anymore, and they persist between rooms. This actually this might be insane change. This actually sounds fun to use.
This sounds really, yeah, that's obviously insane change. Oh my God, that's crazy.
You're always going to have a boss active, because let's say it summons like Gemini and you're in Womb and the Gemini dies quickly. Well, your charge time probably isn't that high because it only summoned a basement boss. And then you get to use it again, and then maybe it summons like Bloat, and then your Bloat's going to live for a while and kind of shred things, and your charge time will be longer. That's fine.
Wait, you're so right. Is it completely random bosses? Fun. Wait, this thing might be broken. Isn't it random? Because like, look.
Yes, and they didn't say that it can't. This can spawn Hush very rarely. It didn't say that it removed being able to spawn Hush.
I hope it still does.
With this persist between rooms.
This is one of those items where I'm okay with this item being like another crazy item because it's like it's Delirious. Yeah, it should be
one of the 12-room charge items with Mega Blast and Mega Mush, and it does not compare to Mega Blast.
No, it's terrible.
Mega Blast and Mega Mush.
Yeah, it actually is.
But
terrible.
Now it does. I think now it sounds really good. It sounds fun. I think that's really good.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm excited to use it. I actually am. I think it'll be really good.
Here's another good one. Jar of Wisps reduced to a 6-room charge. So this is kind of crazy because I've had this item before, and it is actually very fun when you get to max charges with it. The problem is it's really hard to get to max charges with it. The easiest way that I've done it is going to boss rush with this item is very good. But it's kind of hard to get all those charges and get the Wisps actually building up. And until you do that, it's really like useless. Like it doesn't even feel good to use because using 12-room charge to get 1 Wisp, and you're like, okay. 6-room charge is very reasonable.
Right.
You can actually get the max Wisp with this down. So this is fun and it's good.
What I usually find with this item is that usually I'll see it and I'll be like, ain't no way, I'm too far into the run. It's not gonna give me basically any benefit. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It might more.
I mean, this is performing Book of Virtues very quickly now. Like as soon as you use the 2nd charge, it's already even, and then as soon as you go further, it's just better than Book of Virtues for getting Wisps.
Right.
Obviously, Book of Virtues has other effects, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty good.
That's pretty cool.
It's not that creative of a change, but it does help a lot. I think this tier makes sense for it.
Yeah, but it's not cool. Maybe it's mid.
No, but I think it's really fun. I think this would be
Okay,
fun, because now the item's actually
right.
usable.
Yeah, you're right.
It feels a lot
The item was so, like, it was honestly a pass way too often, and it was kind of upsetting. Yeah, I can agree with that. But not better than my man, Lemon Mishap. Bro,
Lemon
my God.
is actually usable
Lemon
now,
Mishap is gonna go crazy, bro.
We're gonna try out the item and it's still gonna be terrible. We're gonna look like complete idiots.
No, I want Lemon Mishap to be the top of the all items list. It's top 1. It'll be so insane.
Kills Hush. You can beat Hush with no items.
You can beat Hush without ever shooting with Lemon Mishap now. Insane.
Insane. Okay, Abyss. Item quality now impacts the damage of the summoned Locust. Locusts now inherit many different effects based on the item destroyed by Abyss. Thank God.
This is insane. People have been asking for this for ages. So yeah, there's like, basically, there's like, what, like 4 different, there's not that many, like, different unique locusts in the game before.
They're not very good. There's like a Brimstone one.
Yeah, you never locust them.
Fly. It doesn't even do more damage. It doesn't have any lasers. It's just a slightly larger fly.
No matter what, the item quality thing, I think that's awesome. I think that's an insane change.
It does depend. I feel like, just of a feeling, I feel like if you suck up a low quality item, it might do less damage than Locust used to do.
That's probably accurate.
Which might actually be a nerf, but the extra, it really does depend. Like,
okay, but what if a quality 4 item is like 10 times your damage?
Maybe.
And the tier effects, I actually, I don't even care as much about the quality thing. I think the tier effects.
I think the tier effects is pretty good. We've been wanting this for a while.
I think this is deserving of the top tier, not above Delirious, because Delirious is crazy, but I think it's deserving specifically because Tainted Apollyon exists. And we're gonna,
I was about to say that. In terms of impact, there's a whole character who always has this item. So that's massive for that character.
Yeah, and I mean, we're gonna reach to Void in a little bit here, but yeah, I think that completely, like, that's gonna completely change how we play Tainted Apollyon, and I think that's exciting.
Yeah. Actually, there's one thing that is character-based that's coming up next.
Oh, God. Flip. Let me see. Look, let me read this one. Charge has been reduced to 4 rooms for Tainted Lazarus only. Well, guess what?
Let's go.
Tainted Laz finally got a buff, and you know what? This might actually be relevant for a character tier list. It probably will be, actually.
I already thought Tainted Lazarus was like mid tier. I don't think he's good, but I don't think he's bad. A lot of people think he's bad. I think he was like an average character, like slightly above average. But now with 4 room charge, it's a lot easier to get just double items like on every pedestal on the floor now. Like sometimes what would normally happen is you could flip your item room and flip your devil room, but trying to flip your shop as well would probably be unreasonable.
Yeah.
But now you can definitely do all 3.
Yeah, now you can do everything, basically.
You can probably flip your curse room if one spawns there. So like you can probably flip actually everything on the floor now.
So I think this is the one change that I think Tainted Lazarus really needed. Because I actually specifically always said if they just lowered the charge time of flip, he would feel so much better. And now that they have, because I think the idea of Tainted Lazarus at its core was you're playing as 2 different characters and you're switching between 2 different runs the entire time. I think the concept is cool, but I think the execution was really bad, like from a design perspective. Now, I think you likely are getting almost every relevant item that you need to at a flip, that it will feel a lot more even between the flipped versions of Laz. And I think it might actually turn out to be a much more fun character, literally just because of the 2 room change.
Yeah.
So
I mean, hey, I already thought the character Tainted Lazarus is already my #1 favorite character in terms of fun.
Which is crazy.
It's even easier to min-max on him. It's even easier now. It's beautiful. Also, just a small note. Tainted Lazarus, there was also a few other items that I'm not going to mention them, but there was a few other items that now work on both forms that they should have, like membership card, for example. So that's an extra thing.
That's nice.
It's kind of like a Tainted Lazarus buff, really, more than a flip buff. But, I mean, if you want to put it there.
I don't think it's as interesting as the... again, it's on a character, so it's hard for me not to just put it top tier. Because you're going to see this way more often than just a specific item, right? I think...
Yeah.
I mean, this really changes the character so much. I think that the change for Tainted Apollyon is a lot cooler, so I'm going to keep that above it. But, yeah, I think this is a simple change.
This should be pretty cool, just because it's not very creative, even if it is very.
I actually can agree with that, yeah. But I do think its impact is pretty massive, considering it's on what many people, myself included, considered to be one of the worst characters in the game.
Yeah. Well, you're all wrong, but now maybe you'll even see that he's not that bad.
Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to test him out. Test him out. Maybe.
Are you ready for the most insane change?
Oh my god, yes,
Portable
please.
slot.
Please.
Try to guess before you read it. What
Okay. Portable slot. They give you 100% chance pretty fly for every single coin you put into it.
Nah, here's what they did. They removed it from the shop pool, and they added it as a possible reward from slot machines.
Wait, did they?
That's all. Yeah.
Wait, that's actually huge. Wait, it's funny that that's the change because I thought when we ranked this in all items, I thought it was a reward for the slot machine.
Anyway, so the thing with this is Portal Slot actually has better payouts than an actual slot machine. And so I mean, if you get it from a slot machine, then it's just good because you can keep using it. You literally just get an infinite slot machine for that floor.
Wait, you're actually right. That means you never burn.
It's also not
out.
a shop pool anymore, so it doesn't like you're gonna get better shop items. This is a shop buff.
Well, yeah, this is a shop buff, but on top of that, it makes more realistic scenarios where you actually use the portable slot machine. Because most of the time when you use the slot machine, I always argue, is that the slot machine is better than the shell game to play on Womb. Because you don't care about the pickups and everything from shell game, but what you do care,
the pretty flies, yeah.
The pretty flies are insane for late game, like especially for late game bosses. Like you get a free orbital for spamming your money on Womb. That's awesome. So here now we don't have the risk of the slot machine breaking. Like it's a possible reward, but well, wait, if you pay it out, can it still just explode?
You usually get $1. No, I think it's $1 or portable slot.
Okay, but can you still get nothing?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not as crazy as I thought. For some reason, just now I was thinking it was guaranteed, but no. It's probably just mid, but it's cool. I like that.
This item might actually be usable now, because the problem is with it in the shop pool, is that why would you ever spend 10 cents on this item? Ever.
Exactly. Yeah. You never spend money to spend more money. It's super.
And
it's
if
super
you're
silly.
early enough in the run, that you get portable, like maybe you get it for free somehow. If you're early enough in the run for that, you probably want to spend your money on actual shops.
Yeah.
And not portable slot.
Yeah.
So it was kind of just useless. Anyway,
The Void.
Void. Charges being reduced from 6 to 4. Void really needed this.
Void
is good. It felt bad to use. It's trying to be two things at once. It's trying to be a stat upgrader. It's trying to be like a min-maxing item like D6 where it just like makes your run better, but it's also trying to be like a hyperactive, and it can't do both at once. So at 4-room charge, it might be able to do both at once now, maybe.
The reason why I say Void needs a buff this whole entire time is specifically because it's on Apollyon. Like, Void being on Apollyon, it makes Apollyon feel always worse than Isaac. Apollyon never feels more fun. Like, it literally feels like a worse Isaac. There's no other character in the game that I feel like has this issue, where like they are so blatantly just a worse version of another. Like, like, and there's no like benefit, not really. Like, there's barely any benefit to playing Apollyon over Isaac. Like, the issue
is that using Void as an active, like a battle active, is just not viable.
No, it isn't. With 4 rooms, however, now Void is actually unique. Now you could do some really crazy stuff. Like, you could D20 with Void. I was thinking about this the other day. With D20 Void, now you could like literally charge Void that sucked up D20 with just 2 mini batteries. So that makes D20 game breaks instantly way more viable if you suck up D20
I actually agree.
Void.
I'm not normally a believer of D20 game breaks, but I think with Void it's possible.
2 mini batteries? Like, that's vastly easier to spawn than 3.
Does that mean every Polygon run that finds D20 is just going to get it?
Probably. No, actually, probably. That's so much more likely. Like, that is a massive change.
Thing, because D20 game breaks are boring. Hold on.
okay, besides D20 though, I mean, what are some other items that are really cool with this?
Book of Revelations?
Book of Revelations, yeah. Satanic Bible.
Oh my god, you can still put 12-room charge items in this, like Mega
Oh
Mush.
my god, 4-room charge Mega Mush.
Now, this sounds more like a quality 4 item. This item is quality 4 for some reason, and it shouldn't be. But now, it actually kind of maybe sounds like a quality 4 item.
Even though its effect is, like, I actually... This is gonna sound stupid. Is it wrong? Okay, no, I shouldn't put it above Delirious. Delirious seems really cool. I do think it's above Void.
Really fun, yeah.
It's definitely above Void. So I don't think Tainted Apollyon had much of an issue. It's a bit of a shame that the locus for Tainted Apollyon didn't do much, but at the very least, Tainted Apollyon at least felt unique than the other characters, right? Like, it's just a constant DPS up for items you don't feel like picking up. I'm down with that, right? Void just felt bad because all the active items you'd suck up just barely ever had an effect. And, like, Abyss always felt so much better because it worked on active items. Now, now that active items are actually viable with Void, like, this is huge. It's literally only 2-room charge difference, but that is enough, I think, alone.
That's a lot. No, it's a surprising amount.
Yeah.
4 to 6
it completely changes how you view the Void, and that now it can actually be used with active items, and I think that's awesome. Because
you can put a Book of Belial in this, and you're only getting, like, 4-room charge Book of Belial is not that much worse than 3-room charge. Like, you can just use the Book of Belial.
And, I mean,
hell,
now we have 4 rooms, we have 2 rooms less to charge for sucking up items as well. Like, sometimes 6 rooms, sometimes 6 rooms is just too much, right? So now that's even easier as well. That, I think, is a massive change. I think it's definitely more impactful than Delirious, because it's on a character, but...
Yeah, in terms of how often you're going to have it, Delirious is pretty rare, so...
Yeah, but I do think Delirious is really cool. I mean, I'm really excited to see that.
Okay, next item, Epiphora. The tears upgrade from firing in a single direction is now a smooth increase instead of being staggered every few seconds. Honestly, I think this goes irrelevant. It could go to alright, maybe, but I think this item is already good.
Yeah, I already really like this item.
Not that... No, actually, here's the benefit of this item. It might actually go to alright because of this. Here's the benefit of this item. Before, if you change directions, you're not getting any tier increase. For like a little bit. But now when you change directions, you're instantly getting a bit of a tier increase. So even if you're not holding down the fire button, you're going to be constantly getting a tiers up. Like no matter what.
I see what you're saying. You can
be fighting a room, you can be firing to the right, then there's an enemy above you.
Wait, you're actually right.
You're immediately gonna get
it's not as staggered, so you're immediately... It's kind of like Deadeye in a way, where like you're just like... You're almost instantly, just like Deadeye, you're instantly getting the damage up, like the moment you shoot another enemy. It's kind of like that.
I think now, you're gonna be firing to the right, you're gonna be, then start firing upwards. You're gonna be firing for like barely any time at all, and you're still gonna be getting a tiers upgrade.
You know what? Actually, I think that's mid. I think that's about the fart. I think you're actually right. I think you were cooking with that point. And I think that that's gonna massively change how I view this item, because I think it'll have a much smaller effect, albeit, but a slight dead eye feeling to it, and I like that. Like, I'm always going to be feeling benefit, even when I'm not trying.
Also, this is just directly, like, no matter what, a DPS up. Even if you're holding down the fire button, just fire, like, let's say you're firing at the boss. You're like, fighting Beast, and you're just firing to the right. Normally it would stagger, so you're going to get DPS up at, like, intervals, but now that it's smooth, you're going to be getting
now
DPS
it's always DPS
up. No matter what.
No, I actually do think this is mid. I feel pretty confident about that.
Actually, I realize now, Irrelevant was very low balling it. Yeah. It is actually more relevant than I thought.
How about that?
I am actually okay with that, yeah.
Okay, let's see that.
God's Flesh, okay, this was another obvious one, but it really needed this. Okay, actually, this part isn't obvious. Double the chance of Shriek Tears firing, that's just nice. Shrunken enemies now briefly flash white before growing back to full size, that's also nice.
Right.
Enemies that explode, fire shots, or summon minions of death can no longer hurt Isaac if they're killed while shrunken.
Oh,
that is
God.
massive.
That is huge.
This item has needed this. This item feels a lot better now. I actually, before this buff, I was thinking this item, like, could maybe be a detrimental contender on the all items list, just because it shrinks enemies, which makes them harder to hit. The shrink effect is never worth, like, trying to stomp on them, because you just get hit when you do it. And then, like, yeah, and I did nothing. Like, it maybe not detrimental, but definitely, like, trash, or, like, E- or something.
Yeah, this could be...
actually sounds decent.
This sounds like a pretty solid item.
Good, but it actually, it sounds usable.
I don't see why you would never not pick this up now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, before I sometimes skipped this, but now this actually seems decent. It's not good, but it's decent. It might not be good. It might be good. I don't know. But it seems decent at least.
I think it's... honestly, the Epiphora thing, it sounded so irrelevant, but now I'm thinking about it, it actually seems so nice.
I feel like that was like, you put a bit of thought into it, you're like, actually, wait, this is better than it sounds.
Can this actually be That's Pretty Cool? Like, bottom That's Pretty Cool?
Nah, I don't think so. That's way too high.
Because, okay, here's my issue. I don't think this makes That's Pretty Cool. The gap between these two feels so high.
I don't think it is, to be honest. I think God's Flesh is now takeable. Epiphora was always a good item.
Where would you rank it?
But God's Flesh is, like, actually, like, takeable now. And it actually seems like... It seems like it might actually be worth trying to interact with the item. Because before, you never wanted to interact with the item. You got the shrink shots, and you never try to step on them. Now it actually seems like maybe viable, because you're shrinking more enemies. You know when they're going to go back to normal. And they don't hit you when you step on them.
Do you think that's pretty cool?
No, but I think it's in mid probably better than Epiphora, but it doesn't matter too much.
That's fine. I prefer. Again, we have to see how it works, but Epiphora actually sounds pretty nice now. Oh my God, Hushy needed this. While held in place,
Hushy now fires radial bursts of shots.
That
sounds pretty good.
Sounds pretty good. That's pretty good.
It does the damage now. On top of doing the contact damage, that's pretty good.
That's pretty cool. I'm sure it's not that crazy. It's still a low quality item, right?
Well, I was actually thinking, should this go in mid? No, mid is... You know what? I'm actually thinking about it more. I think you put Tammy's head in irrelevant and you delete the alright tier. I feel like we're not going to have anything in that tier.
I mean, it's aight.
Yeah.
Hear me out. 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 Insane. There you go.
Insane. Okay. And I think Hushy actually maybe goes to alright.
That's fine. I like the idea of the Hush shots because I think the way Hush shoots, it could be interesting. You know, basically how it works, right, is the moment you start shooting, if you hold that direction, it'll just stay in place, right? So you could technically hold it in a nice place where it could just constantly be shooting the enemy, maybe. Radial burst shots. What does that mean exactly? That means it doesn't... Am I dumb? Radial...
I think, like, just... It probably does, like, a Tammy's head effect, is what I'm thinking.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. This is probably fine. I think Hushy needed this. Maybe it's way better... No, you know what? No. Can we put that's pretty cool? Because I'm always disappointed by this item. So, even just seeing it spit out tears now, that sounds like it's pretty cool. What's up with it hurts?
After taking damage, Isaac's tears will now leave behind small pools of blood creep for the room. When I read this, it sounds like this is a mysterious liquid effect.
But only after you get hit.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It might not be like mysterious liquid, but that's what I infer from the wording there.
I mean, it's I
actually think that might be mid.
Maybe.
Mysterious liquid's decent.
Alright, but I mean, it's
Yeah. No, I think it's mid.
Alright, if you say so.
Yeah.
Wait, Mars, did they finally change the the controller issue?
No. But
false.
But in addition to being invulnerable when charging, Isaac will gain a 1-second bubble of invincibility after the charge. Hitting obstacles also causes a knockback effect to clear any threats from the surrounding area. I just wanna hear me out for a second. 1 second bubble of invulnerability. That sounds like Book of Shadows, right? So could you have a blood donation, like a Temperance card, use the Temperance card in the corner of the room, dash into the corner, and use your 1 second of shield on the blood donation machine?
Maybe.
Because that sounds really good.
Well, here's the thing, right? I think there's a chance that Edmund did not understand, because someone like there was a item poll basically like, hey, what were the items that needed to be buffed the most, right? And Mars was on that list. But I think he might have misunderstood why Mars needed to be buffed. Potentially. Like, I mean, unless it does get buffed and it's just not listed in the changelog for some reason. Mars was never bad in concept and like how it was. It was that it activated accidentally, right?
I think the issue with activating accidentally was that it would put you in a situation that instantly gets you hit.
Yeah, exactly.
With 1 second of invincibility, I think you can get yourself out of bad situations. I actually think, thematically speaking for the item, I think it's possible that the unintentional dashes are actually by design.
No way.
And by making because it's like Mars, like an aggressive item, right? Like it might be that the unintentional dashes are meant to be a side effect.
Maybe.
But making the unintentional dashes less punishing lets you keep them and make the item not bad.
This does sound like a crazy change. Albeit... I don't know if it deserves the top tier.
Okay, this is my number one item I wanted changed in this update. I did figure it would be changed. I also thought it would just be a simple make the controls easier. But the issue is, no matter what control scheme I thought of, nothing really worked because you need to... On keyboard, you have plenty of buttons. Like, they could do something on keyboard. But on controller, you don't have that many buttons to choose from.
Right.
It's actually hard to give a control scheme that's not, like, really, like, complicated or just unintuitive or something. So I actually kind of like this approach they took, where they didn't even try to mess with the control scheme, and instead just made it less punishing when you accidentally dash. And if you can do the temperance card play I just said, then that's kind of good.
That's true. You want to just put it at that's pretty good, like at the top of that's pretty good.
That's probably fine. Yeah, I like this change. I think
that's pretty good. I'm excited to see how the bubble works, like with min-max and stuff like that. I think it's interesting. Yeah. And I mean, hell, it could have some really good battle application.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, hell, Sack Dag will work like insane with this, for example. I think you're just always going to be wanting to dash and like run up for a little bit.
Wait, you could dash into Mega Satan, get a 1 second shield, and use Sack Dag during that time.
Exactly.
But you actually might get hit if you do that. That sounds risky, but you could maybe do it.
Yeah, you could probably run up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Alright.
I mean, just dash into him and then walk back.
Interessante. Evil Charm. Isaac now gains immunity to Spider Whip's slowdown. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be reading it. Go ahead.
Okay. Isaac now gains immunity to Spider Web slowdown, flame attacks, fireplaces, and poison mushrooms. Isaac can also stand in enemy creep for 1 second before taking damage. This is really good.
So it's just like...
That's a lot.
Yeah. So it's just immunity to... Wow. This is immunity to just hazards, basically.
Yeah, you're immune to Mega Satan's flames now.
The Isaac heavy-duty boots.
you get, like, essentially creep immunity. Like, it's not... 1 second, I think, is enough. I think you're not taking damage from creep ever with this.
Right.
So, I think that's really good. Like, really good. I think that's, I think this item needed this. Because before, like, the whole theme of the item was you're immune to status effects, but there weren't enough status effects in the game to actually make that relevant.
Yeah, creep
now
for
they've
1 second
expanded it to spider webs, Mega Satan flames, poison mushrooms.
Oh my god, wait, yeah, flame attacks. Wait, you're actually right. Immunity.
That's a lot of effects.
Wait. Is this actually insane?
I was thinking it's insane. I really like this buff. Like, I really like what they've done with this item. Like, obviously, viability-wise, it's not insane. It's not as good as Delirious is now. But I think in terms of what they did with this item, I wasn't expecting it to get buffed, and I'm really happy with this buff.
I feel like this is creative. I think it makes sense. Yeah. Because I think we need more items that are like, they change how you think about the run as well. Like, this is just a nice little protection item.
And this item was so boring before. Like, it did nothing.
Yeah. I mean, what did it do? What did it do? I don't even remember.
Okay, it still gives you +2 luck, and it still does that. It gives you +2 luck. It makes you immune to poison clouds from, like, the corpse enemies, and it makes you immune to Dogma's Godhead aura. Dogs. Makes you immune to dogs.
Makes you immune to dogs.
I'm immune to Dogma's Godhead aura. That was the only thing that made you immune to.
No, okay, I was gonna put it above these two, but to be fair, I still think the point that these are on characters is really relevant.
I think that's better, but I do think this deserves insane. I really like the buff. I'm really happy with it.
I agree with it, actually. I think that's really interesting.
It's overpowered. It's just nice. You want to pick this up and you're gonna be like, I'm immune to a ton of things now.
That's pretty cool. Maybe that's pretty cool. But nah, I don't know.
Vasculitis. Friendly radial shots fired after killing an enemy will now appear as blood clots to more easily distinguish them. This is one that you do need to go into game and see what it looks like. But the big issue people have with this item, some people say this item's detrimental. I don't personally agree, but some people say it's detrimental because it's hard to know when you kill the enemy if that's your vasculitis shots or if it's the enemy death shots.
Right.
Like the death rattles. It's sometimes hard to distinguish them. If they made it easier to distinguish, then the item just has no downside now. Like, it's just good. And it's still not that good of an item in general. Like, the effect isn't that great. I would personally say alright. I would say it's alright here. Like, I think this item isn't changing a lot, but it is nice. Like, you'll appreciate this buff. You're not going to get confused as much.
The slot machine thing actually feels kind of like cool because it's like it's in a game. Like,
you know, I think the slot machines are alright. I think the slot machine's definitely alright. Actually.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. Whatever.
We're about to have an insane one. I'm just gonna read the first four words. Has been completely reworked. You already know what's going on.
Insane.
Double tapping a fire button is now required to launch Little Portal. Thank God.
Nice.
But after it has consumed enough items and the room is clear, a single portal will spawn, and the familiar will now disappear for the remainder of the floor. Entering this portal now takes Isaac to a room where he can pick up or drop off items. This room persists throughout the entire run.
What?
From the sounds of it, this sounds like it gives you Tainted Isaac's effect to drop passives.
Entering the portal now takes Isaac to a room where he can pick up or drop off items.
That sounds like Tainted Isaac.
Right. To persist the rest of the current run.
And the thing with Tainted Isaac's effect is Tainted Isaac's effect to drop passive items is actually super good. Like, it's not good in the sense that you're limited, but if you're able to just do that without an item limit, that would be super good. That sounds really good.
Right.
I don't know how it will work. I don't know how you code that. I don't know how you get that to work. But if that is what I'm thinking, if it's like Tainted Isaac effect, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
Because you can pick up Cursed or you can pick up Team Trainer by accident. You can just take blind items whenever you want. And then if you get a bad blind item, you can just drop it.
Whoa. Wait.
You can pick up soy milk at the start of the run.
Wait.
And then you might get Mom's Knife later, and you just drop your soy milk.
Wait.
Or you...
After it has been consumed of items and the room is clear, a single portal will spawn and the familiar now disappear for the remainder of the floor. And this portal now takes items to a room where you can pick up or drop off items. How does that work?
I don't know how that works, but it sounds like Tainted Isaac.
Drop off items? So you could get rid of your detrimental items?
You could pick up Mom's Knife early in the run when it's really good, and then right before the final boss, you could drop it.
Yo, the Mom's Knife save.
Like any scenario, you're only gonna get the upside of all your items. Like soy milk will only be good because soy milk, you're either getting it when it's really good because you have a good tier spam build, or you drop it because you got Mom's Knife or Epic Fetus.
Whoa.
You pick up blind item, you pick up blind TM Trainer, you just drop it.
Whoa.
That's so good.
This sounds insane.
Okay, on top of that, I would have been happy enough if all they did, if it literally was just double tapping a fire button is now required to launch Little Portal. That's all they had to do, and I would have said, yeah, that's pretty good. But all of this, hello?
That's kind
so
of crazy. That's so interesting. Whoa. It changes.
It's super interesting now.
It changes how I think.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a great change. That's an insane change. Oh my god, that's crazy.
It is. I really wish we could check the game, but it sounds like Tainted Isaac.
It sounds like you could just get rid of whatever item you want.
Yeah.
And that's insane. Can you wait?
Yeah.
And it's a passive. So could you like D6 your items in this room and keep them in there?
Maybe.
What if you just drop off? Like, let's say you get Lil Portal, right? And then, like, let's say you're just doing a typical Isaac run, right? You already have D6. You find Lil Portal. Can you then, like, for every item that, like, you basically had to pick up, because, you know, you can get enough D6 charges to get, like, a really good item, could you just drop those kind of mid items in that room, keep them in there for the entire run, and then just keep putting items in there, and then mass D6 all those items?
Well, you don't even need to do it the entire run. You can do it every floor. You can do 6 at once.
Oh my god. You could just always be... You could just have a mass D6 room.
Yeah, constantly. Like, you re-roll it every floor. And then if there's some items you're still not happy with, they're still there. So when
they're still there.
Re-roll it again.
Wait. I love that change. That's awesome. That is awesome. I love that. Alright.
Yeah.
Deserved. Deserved. Top of the list. Deserved.
Yeah. Linger Bean. The fart cloud is now deployed after 4 seconds of continuous fire instead of 7 seconds. The cloud starts small and potent and will grow and deal reduced damage over the course of 10 seconds. This is a buff. It doesn't sound that good.
Sounds better than Lil Portal at least.
Yeah, it is definitely better than Lil Portal for sure.
At least better than Delirious, that's for sure.
I don't think it's not irrelevant. This is helpful, but I think it's the lowest on the list in alright. I don't think this sounds that good. I think even the Mega Bean, I think will clear rooms for you, but I think this doesn't sound that good.
This is probably irrelevant.
I don't think it's irrelevant.
Fair enough.
I think this item's usable now, but I think it's still probably not that good, and it's not that creative of a change. They just buffed the numbers. It's like whatever. Yeah, I'm not too excited about this. It's like, yeah,
that's fine.
At least with Mega Bean, you could just do a catastrophic fart, like
catastrophic fart. I don't know if Tammy's head should be at the bottom.
It is, to be honest. I think the issue with Tammy's head is that you can't recharge it. I don't think it's the tier. I don't think it's, yeah. I don't know.
But then it has like no downtime though. I think the downtime is still an issue.
I don't think Tammy's head is much better than it used to be. And I think the change is also like not that crazy. So I think it's like whatever.
Oh, my man Jupiter. Alright, what's the issue?
Now heals 2 red hearts instead of just half a heart.
Insane!
Insane.
That's all they did? Are you serious?
That's all they did?
All I wanted them to do for this is just to not lower your speed. Like, why?
Now, to be fair, I do like the change in terms of it. Just why did you get 2 hearts that were empty? Like, why? What was the point? Now it fills them up. That's nice. But the issue people have with this item is the massive speed down, and they didn't change that.
Yeah, I don't. Okay,
I'm okay with it.
I said this in Planetarium list. I don't get why. No, I would say this is worse than Tammy said. This change. This is actually really disappointing to me because, and I think disappointment is important for this kind of list.
I think you're right. Actually, I think this is disappointing.
This is the definition of disappointing. Because no, okay, and this is why I want to move this up here because I see why they did that. Because that is an issue of Tammy's head that you use it and then for just like a slight second, like you feel like, oh, I wish I could keep shooting after I use it. But that is a buff that, like, I feel like that's an issue of Tammy's head. Not the main issue, but it is an issue. So it shouldn't be irrelevant. This...
You know what? I've got a bad idea. I think Tammy's head is still irrelevant. I think you make a tier below called disappointing, and you put...
No, we don't need another tier. I just think, like,
okay.
they're a different level. Just trust, right? This, like, I said this in the Planetarium list. Like, Jupiter would be absolutely fine. Like, I don't actually even hate the fart clouds. I think the fart clouds are actually pretty good in enemy rooms. They're really not that bad. That come out of this. Like, they're pretty good for room clearing. The issue is the speed down. It really is. There was no reason to give you a speed down. Like, the Planetarium items are supposed to be extra good. So, like, just let them be good. So why is there this
really
negative?
Need it, to be honest. It could have just given you the fart effect and nothing else.
Yeah.
Even just the fart effect without the speed down, I don't even think it would be that good.
No, but
it still might be the worst Planetarium item, even if it didn't give a speed down.
Like, I don't know. It's very disappointing. I think this is my least favorite so far. That's really
I agree. I read that and I'm like, really? That's it? I do like having those hearts filled because, again, why were they empty in the first place? But, yeah.
I feel like that just ignores the main issue of the item. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Anyway,
Butterbean.
Butterbean. Recharge time has been reduced from 3 seconds to 2.
Insane!
Insane. This actually... Okay, so Butterbean knocks away projectiles. It being a 2-second charge to knock away, like, Hush projectiles. Is this, like, actually...
No, that's cap. That's cap, I'm sorry.
It probably is cap. But I think 2 seconds is a lot shorter than 3 seconds.
It is,
so...
But here's the thing. I think Butterbean, unless the hitbox is way bigger than I think it is, I don't know. I'll leave it at bottom of mid. I don't think it's enough. To be fair...
No, that's what I was thinking, like, around that place anyway.
To be fair, I'm okay with it. Like, it's not disappointing. Like, I don't think Butterbean needs to be buffed. All right, Butterbean is meant to be the meme item. Butterbean's meant to be bad. Yeah, they literally made an item called Wait What. That's literally like, it's a buffed Butterbean. You know, like, I don't know. I get it, right? It's fine. It's mid. It's okay.
Yeah. You know what? Just a minor thing. I think rename the bottom tier from irrelevant to whatever, and then it will be easier for me to put stuff there because I'm thinking of other things that I wouldn't say. No, name it whatever. Name it whatever.
No.
There's other things I want to go there.
Disappointing. Trust.
It would help if you can spell disappointing.
There you go. Just trust. We can change it later if I agree with what you say.
Okay. Anyway, the bean and kidney bean. This is the same buff. Both of them, instead of being a 1-room charge, actually, I think kidney bean might have been I don't actually remember. I think it was 1-room charge. They're both now a 4-second cooldown, so they've recharged mid-room. That is way better. For both of them. Still not good. They're still not good items, I don't think. But 4 seconds. That's fine.
I don't know what to say about this. I mean, I don't know. Again, like with these on-hit effects. Okay, it's funny because
on-hit effect.
Wait. Oh, this is the bean. Oh my god, I always confuse these items.
And kidney bean. Kidney bean got the same buff. They're both actives that were 1-room charge, and now they're 4-second cooldown charges.
Oh, well. This poisons enemies, right? No, it's actually usable now. Never mind, I was thinking on the wrong item.
Yeah. It's actually usable now.
That's fine. Probably okay for early game.
I would say It Hurts is better, for sure.
That's fine.
Kidney bean, I think, is probably above. Kidney bean charming things are pretty good. I mean, these items are like... They're whatever. They were really, really boring before because they were bad. Like, they're 1-room charges and they have a small hitbox, and it's like, what are you doing? Forum charge, I think you can actually like, kind of spam these now, and it's still not going to be good, but it's nice. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I respect it. That's a fine change. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Oh, can I predict what this is? Can I predict what this is?
Yeah.
Dead Bird. So I've talked about this buff before on all items list. I think this item would be so much better if it was just you get hit and then it persists for the entire floor, kind of like Bloodlust for Samson, right? Is it something like that?
You're not that far off. It will remain active between rooms as long as the player is at half a heart.
Oh, so you have to be at half a heart.
Not half a red heart or half an actual heart. Although this works on the lost now. It's just always active on the lost. That's cool.
That's cool. I mean, yeah. Oh, I just realized. So you don't actually have to take a hit now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, no. Maybe you do. It says will remain active.
Maybe you do still have to take a hit. As long as the
player...
player...
maybe you do need to take a hit. Oh, in that case, it's not really... Like, it's probably... Actually, it might just be disappointing, or it might be irrelevant.
It's definitely not disappointing. I think...
It's either wanted to name the bottom tier whatever.
No, because I think even if you still have to get hit, I think that's a nice buff. Like, I actually think that's... Even if you still have to get hit, it's definitely above these, I think. Because I think it's on a... No, it's on a character, right? You're going to notice this. On Eve, you will notice this. Especially on Eve, actually. Because she's basically a solar character. You're going to be below it. You're going to notice that you have this for every single floor.
I'm not sure if it...
No.
If it's half a red heart or half a heart in general. It doesn't specify.
No,
relevant.
No, you know what? I know it's red health. You know why? Because it says note. It says requires one full red heart. I mean, it says one full heart. That, to me, means it's red heart. Because doesn't Eve have that same mechanic for her red health for Horror Babylon?
Yeah, okay, you know what? Here's what I think. I think this is pretty cool tier, like the bottom of pretty cool tier, if it's all the time. Like, if it's for only red hearts. And if it's for health in general, then I think it's, like, bottom of alright.
No, I would agree if it's not red. I think I'm very confident that it's red health, though. I think we should rank it as if it's red health, because I think that just makes sense.
Okay, if it's red health, I think it's bottom of pretty cool or top of mid.
I agree with that. I think it's on Eve. You're gonna notice it, and again, like it's nice to have that whole floor room clearing ability. I mean, hell, like if you're always having this, maybe it really isn't that bad. The issue with this item is that the benefit you were getting was not worth taking a hit for in the single room. Yeah. But honestly, if this is there the entire floor, I feel like this could clear some rooms, like early game. Like it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So anyway, with that. Yeah.
Dataminer.
Oh god, here's
using Dataminer in a room with an item pedestal. We'll now re-roll it into a glitched item.
Wait. Wait. You mean like a TM trainer item?
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's funny, but
okay, listen, we're not ranking based on how good it is. I think that's pretty cool.
Wait. Do you want to put it in insane for engagement?
Yes. Yes. Wait, it actually is. Hold on. Okay, in terms of how cool of a change it is, unironically, because this item used to suck ass, so now it got a complete rework, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Using it.
Oh no, it still does the other effects.
I see. But that's cool. Wait, is this like not that terrible if you're gambling a little bit?
Yeah, because some glitch items win you the game, so.
But hear me out, right? Like, it's kind of like D6.
No, it's not.
It's kind of like D6. You could use this on Butterbean, on any active item, and then you re-roll it into something else. You're gambling a little bit.
Then you pick up the glitch item, and it's on rune clear, take damage, and then you lose.
I'm just saying, from a fun standpoint, listen, we're not ranking based on how good this is. From a fun standpoint, that's actually kind of insane. This is like another D6 from a fun standpoint. It actually is.
From a fun standpoint, this is Team Trainer without having to fully commit to Team Trainer.
That's true. And that's cool. Because you could pick which items you want. Again, it's like D6. You could just only get rid of the items you don't want.
I think if I'm being serious, I would put this in mid, just for fun reasons. I think it's a funny change. I would put it in mid just for that reason. For engagement, though, we leave it in C.
Come on, you gotta agree it's cool. It's cool.
It's cool. It's just it didn't help the item at all.
Yeah, but it's cool. It's meant to be a bad item. The whole point of this item, the history of this item is that Edmund was really upset that people data mined his game because he was trying to do what's it called?
Yeah, the ARG.
Yeah, the ARG for the Keeper and the Lost. And yeah, I mean this item, I don't think this item is ever meant to be good.
I think a lot of people would say this is disappointing because they were hoping Dataminer actually was kind of usable, and it's still not usable because glitch items are untakeable.
I don't care because I like it.
I think it's funny too. I'm fine with it.
All right, fine.
Anyway,
let's do that.
Oh, hey, it's D4. So this is not actually D4. This is a representation of D4 bug being nerfed.
Yeah,
so if you didn't know,
the rest of this list is fixes, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, fixed an issue with the D4 unintentionally being able to force all items in a particular pool to reroll. So what you could do with this, for example, is let's say your boss item, you beat your boss item spawns, and your angel room spawns. If you go to your angel room first, and then you pick up the angel item, and then you go to your boss and you pick up your boss item, your boss item will re-roll into an angel item with D4. It thinks it's an angel item because you visited your angel room before picking up the boss item. And that was really fun. It was really fun. I allowed it in. I don't generally like glitches in runs, but I allowed this one because it was really hard to avoid using. It's hard to avoid using on characters like Tainted Eden, for example. It just happens by accident. So I figured if I can't avoid it, I may as well use it. And I think in terms of actual like game depth, it was pretty overpowered, but it actually made D4 had a lot more strategy to it. I made Tainted Eden have a lot more strategy to it. That being said, it might surprise people to hear this. I'm actually not that upset that it got fixed. It is still a bug at the end of the day. I've always had in the back of the mind that it might get fixed. I didn't think it would, to be fair. I did not think it would get fixed. I thought that it went long enough without getting fixed that it was just never going to get fixed.
I'm so happy they got rid of it. Because now, on all items lists, I could just confidently say, nope, we're not counting D4 bug because it's not in the game.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm a little bit sad. I am a little bit sad. I did really like D4 bug in terms of it felt like a mechanic to me. I feel like you could have made this a proper mechanic, and it would have been
No, it always felt like a bug to me. I'm sorry. It always felt like a bug.
I feel like it had a lot of depth to it. Like, using D4 bug correctly had a lot of depth to it, and now it's like, you just can't use it. And it kind of is unfortunate because in After Earth Plus, before I knew about D4 bug, I never used D4 effects because, like, I wanted to keep my actual build. But now that it got fixed, it's a bit sad.
I think that's an insane change.
It is probably good for the. Is it actually good for the game?
Yeah.
I feel like this added to the game.
No, I disagree. So the reason why I always disagreed with ranking stuff based on D4 bug is because, well, first of all, it was obviously a bug to me. I don't agree with the fact that. I think it was just one of those things where it's like, whatever. They left it in because for the super tryhard players, like, they'll just do it. Who cares? I think this is actually a negative. The idea of D4 bug is a full-on negative because of Tainted Eden specifically. I think having a character that literally accidentally activates D4 bug as consistently as Tainted Eden is bad for the game. Because I think the way you play Tainted Eden without D4 bug is a ton of fun. Because I play without D4 bug, and I love that character. But the idea of having an entire loadout of Angel Deal items, that's not what that character is, right? That is not interesting to me. I think it's way more interesting to specifically get pools of items that you know you have, right? And like one of the big things, right, is that I would say Devil Deal items are really good as well because you get multiple Devil Deal items in one Devil Deal. Like, that's just one level of strategy for Tainted Eden as an example, right? And that pool will stay locked in. Just an example. But if you're just getting all your items as Angel Deal items anyway, every single item, that's bad for the game. I'm sorry. D4 specifically, I can kind of get what you're saying because D4 is just a bad item, right? And now you're actually making it like solid. But again, this is one of those items where I don't actually think, like, it's not meant to be used the entire run. It's meant to be used once and that's it, or a couple times until you get a solid enough run. It's not meant to be used the entire run, right? Or to get like a crazy loadout. I think it's better the way it is. I prefer Isaac to have these constraints. I don't like the idea that you just bug out the entire game and break it.
Yeah, I felt like it was thematically fitting that items like Missing No and Tainted Eden were a lot better if you knew about a bug. I felt like that was so fitting.
And that is, but I don't know. I still don't like it. The fact that it happens accidentally with Tainted Eden, I think is a bummer. Maybe I'm just a Tainted Eden lover, but I don't know. I do think it's a crazy change, no matter what. Whether you like the buff or not, or the change or not, that's up to the player. I do think it's extremely game changing though, and I don't think that that's up for debate. I think it deserves top tier.
In terms of impact to the game, it does go in the top tier. Yeah. This massively changes all the D4
because it's not just D4. Yeah, it's every D4 effect. It's Tainted Eden, it's D4, it's Genesis, it's all these items and all these effects that use D4 bug. So yes, I think it deserves top tier. Where would you?
I'll let you have it. I will clarify again though. I'm actually not that sad it got removed. I do think it was better to have in the game than not, but I don't mind. I don't mind that.
I don't think it was good to have in the game because I think it alienates players that don't understand item pools as well.
You know what is insane? What? It's going to be so much easier to rank all of the D4 items on our tier list now.
You're so right. Oh my god.
So
I'm so glad that we could just say nope, not in the game.
We can just put Missing No in detrimental now. We don't have to like.
Thank God. Thank God. Okay, Parasitoid.
Parasitoid. Okay, this is a minor change. It now works on technology shots and brimstone beams. Yeah, I mean it's alright.
Okay, what I will say, this is not. Should we count this as an item buff or just as like a cool synergy? Because for all we know, this is like a really cool synergy, and that's pretty cool, right?
I think because Guppy works with brimstone, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. It's now gonna be like that. That is actually quite impactful in brimstone runs. I think it's always unfortunate when an item gets overridden by something, and this doesn't get overridden by brimstone or technology anymore.
I would maybe, like, I know that obviously for specific synergies, because I should preface that I'm only ranking it a little bit higher because we're in the fixes section now. This is not really meant to be a buff. It's just like, it's pretty cool that they went in and changed this for this item. I don't know. Do you think it's still worthy of being counted as more like an item buff, and we should just rank it?
It actually is more mid, just because it is good to remove.
I think removing overriding in this game
anti-synergies feels bad.
Yeah.
Every anti-synergies feels bad. Like every time you get something that's overridden, it just feels bad, and now it doesn't get overridden by brimstone. It's like, okay, now I have more fun.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I've been testing Mom's Knife a lot recently, and I've only noticed in testing recently that, God, that item, it overrides so many things, and that is a legitimate negative of that item. So getting rid of overriding, I think that's pretty good for the game. I think
that's why a lot of people say Mom's Knife is good, but it's not fun, because it overrides so many synergies that your Mom's Knife runs kind of become very similar to each other. It's just good when things don't override synergies, or keep items working. If you pick up Brimstone, your Parasitoid just stops working. It's like, well, I had a really good item, and now I basically lost that item.
So yeah, I'd say getting rid of overriding, I think that's great. I'm all for that. I think this spot's fine.
Oh, the best thing on the list. Mana's in-game.
This is my sole contribution to this tier list. This is my in-game screenshot right here. I know. Yeah. I know. What can I say?
We're picking up cards, or pills or runes with tainted characters who carry eternal items or pocket items. The consumable is now placed behind the item and can be manually selected, avoiding unintentional uses. Yeah. So I've had this happen before. Like I'm playing Tainted Cain, and I was, trying to get something in my bag, and I accidentally used. I think it was a Chaos card, because I picked up a Chaos card, and then I went to use my bag to pick up something else, and I used my Chaos card. And it's like, oh no, maybe it was a two, no, it was an Ace of Clubs. It was something. It was a card I wanted to keep for later, and I just used it. And it was like, well, that type of stuff's annoying. But now, it's not a thing anymore, because it's going to go behind your pocket, and yeah, it's fine. So, yeah, that's just nice. It's convenient.
It's probably crazy? Is it crazy to put it in insane? Hear me out. Everybody does this.
To be fair,
everybody
do it.
Everybody does this. Everybody like no matter how many hours you have in this video game, everybody accidentally uses their card or pill or whatever instead of their pocket item. It happens all the time. Is this an insane change for the game?
Maybe it is. I'm never going to. You're never going to use that accidental card. On
that is so huge, bro. It's actually so huge. Am I cooking? Is this a cook? Should we leave it right here?
Maybe you are cooking. It does affect every tainted character.
Every
and it's just
single
quality of
tainted
life.
character.
And quality of life is good.
Quality of life's good for the game. We like quality of life here.
Yeah.
That's great.
You know what? Insane change. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Insane change.
You know what else is crazy?
The tick. Insane.
Tick can now be removed by picking up the lighter trinket.
Insane! Oh my god. Anyway, 404.
This is why we need a relevant tier back in mana. This is why I wanted to name the tier whatever.
This is fine.
Because the tick is not disappointing. No one's expecting tick.
Well, the tick, this is not the tick. Well, I do see what you mean. Look, let's just do that. Whatever. Whatever. I mean, it's alright. No, Jupiter's still disappointing. Just leave that.
No,
that's fine.
Mana, please. There's gonna be other things that need to go in this bottom tier.
No.
Mana, Yes. You better do it.
Whatever.
I have a gun, Mana. I have a gun. Yeah.
Alright.
That's not used for whatever, but.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
404.
404. It now shows the trinket, which is emulating, kind of like modeling clay does with items. That's just nice. It's very convenient because sometimes you get a trinket that might hurt you, like the one that makes poops explode, for example. You might have that and not know it, and then you could blow yourself up. But this will tell you that you have that trinket. That's actually kind of nice. I normally don't pick up this trinket because it gives you like sometimes it might give me a detrimental effect when I don't want it. But now I know what I'm getting, so and I can just drop the trinket in the rooms it's bad in. So it actually makes the trinket a lot more usable.
I really like this change. I think that this can mean a lot for this trinket specifically. I mean, this is a trinket buff, right? I would say it's complicated. I do think this makes it a lot more usable because it could be any trinket, right?
Yeah.
Literally any trinket in the game. So are there like really good min-max trinkets that you could just like keep rolling to like be crazy? I mean, like Blessed Penny, right?
I'm pretty sure it's like modeling clay that it will always have the same effect per room. I'm actually not.
I see.
Let me check that.
You know what? I think I don't want to fill out the insane change. That's crazy. No, I shouldn't.
It's not insane. I was gonna say this is mid.
Really? I think this is a crazy change. Because
I think it's nice. I don't think it's
No. This opens strategies that you never would have known before. 100%.
I think you're overrating it.
What are you talking about? If you see that it's Blessed Penny, or that it's Bloody Penny, or any of those, like, or hell, Swallowed Penny, or any of those min-max trinkets, this you can actually make use of now. What if you don't have enough money for the shop, right, on a floor, and it just so happens that one of your rooms on that floor has Swallowed Penny? You can just hit yourself. But you never would have known that if you didn't have the 404 forming into the item. There was no feasible way to find out what it was actually transformed into before.
Okay, but everything else in Pretty Cool were either things that are like relevant on characters, like Flip and Deadbird.
No, I agree that it's I agree that okay, to be fair, I think Deadbird might actually be a little bit too low. But I do think this is kind of the range where it deserves to be.
I think it's more in line with like God's Flesh. It was a bad item that is now better. That's what I think.
No, I don't even think. I don't know. I think this is like pretty game changing though.
I don't.
All right, let's just do this then, because I legitimately feel like it's all the way up here.
Or whatever.
All right, there you go. 404. That's my guy.
Short Fuse.
I like that change.
Short Fuse now makes bombs deal 15% more damage. That's fine. I think that's just alright.
I mean, it's alright.
It's like whatever.
I never really care for this trinket anyway.
I think it goes below Linger Bean as well. I think, or maybe even Tammy's head, honestly.
Whatever.
No, it's not whatever. It's not whatever. Your bombs do more damage. That's hype.
Who cares?
You're right.
Who
The easiest
cares?
I've ever given up on a placement. Right there.
Who cares? You're right. Moving on. Tonsil.
Tonsil, the number of hits required to make the Tonsil create a familiar has been reduced from 12 to 20 to 6 to 12. Yeah, I mean, that makes this trinket, I mean, they're basically like Guppy's hairballs that don't deal damage to enemies. They still block shots though. And I mean, you just get it easier. It's not amazing, but I think it's alright.
It's alright.
It's alright. It makes this trinket a bit better. I appreciate it.
Where'd you put it?
I don't know. Below Linger, at the bottom. But it's just, I don't know. No, above Tammy's.
It's
Yeah.
It's alright.
Wishbone and Bag Lunge have the same buff here, so they both will now activate their effects more commonly when you get hit. So, one problem I had with these trinkets is they felt really rare to activate the effect, and now just having it be more common, that's just nice. Again, I just think it's alright.
I mean, it's alright.
Probably the bottom, but it's like, it's alright. I appreciate it.
I respect that.
Yeah, I respect it. Oh, wait, this is insane. Lil Delirium now contributes to the conjoined transformation.
Insane!
Insane.
Is that literally it?
Yes.
Isn't this item like actually really bad? Well, no, it's not because it's any familiar, right? Never mind.
To be fair, why was he not part of the conjoined transformation before?
Yeah, that is very odd. That is pretty nice though. I mean,
it's probably just alright to be honest.
That is nice. I feel like if I see this in a double deal, I'm gonna definitely want to take
Maybe
it.
take it for conjoined, yeah. I think it goes in this tier. It's like whatever. It's not whatever, but you know what I mean.
That's fine. I think that's like right below the slot machine feels about right.
Now here's a big one. Okay, this Delirium.
This is the Delirium rework that everybody wanted. All right.
Rework insane.
Delirium now is not a complete BS boss. He does not instant teleport on you. He actually is a fun designed fight. It's all that we asked for. Repentance plus insane.
I wish. Anyway, yeah, unfortunately, okay, and no one expected to get the Delirium update in this, no one expected to get the Delirium rework in this update because Killburn left the game, and that's a big project to rework Delirium and Void, so
yeah.
It makes sense he didn't get buffed. I'm not disappointed that he didn't get buffed. I was not expecting it. I wish it happened when Kill was working on the game, but whatever. But I do appreciate this. One thing I also didn't like about Delirium is that it's inconsistent to get to him. I personally am a very slow player. I don't like playing fast. I just don't find it fun to play fast. So I don't go for Hush unless I'm going for my completion mark. Which means I'm never going for Delirium unless I'm going for the completion mark. And I have to go through Hush to guarantee it. And then it's like, okay, some runs you go to Mega Satan. Yeah, some runs you go to Mega Satan to try to get Delirium, and then you just miss. And it feels really bad when you miss the 50%. Right. And it's just really sad. And then the chance of Blue Baby or Lamb giving it to you is really low. I haven't read the change yet. I probably should have read it first. Once it's been unlocked, the Void Portal is now guaranteed after defeating the Lamb, Blue Baby, and Mega Satan.
That's huge.
That's huge. This is definitely insane. I'm so happppy for that.
I would argue that's higher than Lil Portal.
I think it might be because this is a completion mark.
This is like, I'll be honest right away. For the all items list, I considered Delirium as partially a rush mark, like half of a rush mark in terms of consideration. Now it's just not. Like it just is not a rush mark because I mean now, why would you not just go for Mega Satan, Lamb, or Blue Baby? It's so much easier.
There's also ripple effects to this too. It's guaranteed to spawn after Mega Satan. That means that if you got an R-Key run and you wanted to R-Key after Mega Satan, sometimes you're taking the gamble on the 50-50 because if it doesn't spawn the Void Portal, it instantly ends the run. Well, since it now always spawns the Void Portal, so you can always R-Key after Mega Satan.
That is really nice, you're right.
You may as well go to Delirium too. So you're always getting your Delirium and then you can R-Key after that.
That's so really good. I think this completely changes how we complete marks in the game. I think this is way more affecting than just like one nice item change. Like this is like this change, like the thing, the accidentally using cards, but it's on crack. Because like this does affect every player, but this is like every run. Like this is crazy. This is not just an item.
Yeah. Like
this changes the game. It really does.
You can do Delirium streaks now. It's possible.
You actually can do Delirium streaks now, because
we were talking about that the other day. Actually,
we were, yeah.
If it wasn't for the timing requirements, you could easily do a streak.
Yes, exactly. So in my Discord, because I was making an argument that like in
Isaac with D6 can beat Delirium consistently.
Yeah, I was making an argument that insane tier in the all items list. Oh yeah, that should mostly be challenge character rankings because you win every single run with those items on red or solar characters so easily. And my argument for that is based on, yeah, the game is... I could probably streak forever with red heart characters, like, very confidently, especially Isaac. And I think I could streak Delirium if there was not a time constraint. And now that this is gone, you could actually streak Delirium, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
It really is.
I'm happy with that. That is, I was gonna say something else, and now my brain is blanking, but
That's okay.
it's really good. I like this.
That's huge for the game. I think that's a great change. Making completion marks way better.
I forgot to add something on my list, so I'm throwing. I forgot to add the several new Eden hairstyles on the list. I'm sorry, everyone. Anyway.
Detrimental tier. Turt tier. Detrimental tier.
Fixed Hush attacking more aggressively than intended when below 50% HP. That's also quite good. This is a... Yeah, it's a big boss. One of the issues with the Hush fight is that they start overlapping attacks at the end of the fight, and sometimes it makes unfair patterns, especially with the torpedoes, as Mana calls them. I call them tier pillars.
They're torpedoes, bro.
It's a tier pillar.
They're definitely torpedoes. Anyway,
that attack's really hard to dodge, but it's really, really, really hard to dodge when you've also got continuum tiers at the same time. So that's gonna happen less now, which is probably good.
Is that enough?
Yeah,
for
I feel like
any
any of these changes that affect the entire game as a whole would probably go insane by automatic. Like this happening every Hush run. You're gonna notice this. So
how about that? Or should I just do this?
Yeah, I don't really mind where it goes in the tier, to be honest.
Yeah, it is pretty game changing. I mean, it's every Hush run. I don't notice it that much though. I never felt like Hush was too badly designed of a fight. I'll leave it here.
I think it's a really designed fight. It was noticeable sometimes. It's like that attack pattern. You combined those attacks in a way that was a little bit unfair.
Yeah,
it's like it's whatever.
That's fine. Let's do that. There you go.
But I do feel like when I'm playing the Lost or something, near the end of the fight, I feel like I just take a guaranteed hit sometimes.
Yeah, I get that. That's fair. This is the most
like challenge stuff that doesn't matter. Okay, Ultra Greed's coins can now be devolved into coin pickups using the D10.
Hear me out just for 1 second. Alright, you're in a greed mode run. You're trying to fill out your greed machine, you know what I'm saying? So, you could just sit there with 9 volt what is this, D1? D10?
Yeah, D10.
You could just sit there, 9 volt D10ing every single coin spawn that Ultra Greed spawns. You get infinite money. Infinite money. Boom. Insane.
Wait. This combos with Charged Penny.
Insane. This is you know what? It is cool. I'll be honest. It is. Okay. Is it wrong for me to put this in the bottom? I mean, it's kind of cool.
Sure, it's funny. Also, we can kind of lump in here because I didn't have a spot for it on the list. They increased the size of Ultra Greed's coins, the shadow size, to make them easier to see when they're falling. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
That's related to the Ultra Greed coins, so we'll just rank it in here. It's alright, whatever. Okay, so this is a Stone Eye, but there's some other changes later down the list that are more like enemy rooms have been kind of like reworked if they're like unfair rooms, like they've kind of changed up some unfair rooms. So I'm gonna lump that in here. Stone Eyes now do a full turn before they start firing a laser. This prevents some unfair damage scenarios when entering rooms. I think just in general, like we're just going to talk about in general the concept of making the enemy rooms more fair. I think it's just good for. There are definitely. That's why I think Tainted Lost is like regular Lost. Because with regular Lost, you'll occasionally take unfair hits, but it's fine because that hit doesn't matter. Like you go to the next room. If you live that room, you go to the next room. The hit's gone. But on Tainted Lost, it's permanent. So there are unfair room layouts in the game, and sometimes you're playing Tainted Lost, you just get hit unfairly, and it's like, well, now I've lost my holy card. And that really sucks. Just removing unfair rooms and making, like, when you get hit, it should be your fault, right? It should be your fault.
Yeah.
So, I think it's just good in general to try to fix this type of stuff.
Full turn before they start.
It's a...
And some unfair scenario. So is this just like, okay, this is basically all the unfair rooms?
Yeah, we're gonna rank all the unfair rooms.
I mean...
Because there's some later down the patch notes. Later down the patch notes, made adjustments to several unfair rooms, oddly configured rooms that would very rarely spawn, and added several new rooms. We can actually rank all of that. Some new rooms, fixed unfair rooms. It's just nice.
I mean, this is every room, right? Can't we just, like, plop this right there?
I actually think it might just be... is it insane? Maybe it's lower end insane.
This does probably. Nice. I wonder how much this helps Tainted Lost runs.
I feel like this is like not going to be super noticeable, but I think it is nice to have in the game.
Okay.
It's like
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like it. Thank you, Edmund.
That's nice. Thank you.
Oh, I've lost where I was in the list. Okay. Added Skeleton Key, Best Bud, Angry Fly, and Sharp Key to the Key Beggar's prize pool. I'm also going to lump in here. They added some familiars to Monster Manual. They added some stuff to the Baby Shop. Basically, just making the item pools more cohesive for like some of the item pools. That's just nice. Again, it's not massive. It's probably just mid. But you know, making the item pools make a bit more sense. Adding like some more things. It's nice. Item pools are cool.
Skeleton Key is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
That way you can use all your keys on it, then get 99 keys right back. Insane. Ocular Rift.
You have 2 key beggars next to each other, and one of them pays out with Skeleton Key.
And then you just run up. Infinite.
Yeah. Okay, the best change in the game, Ocular Rift, now is a lowered price in the Devil Deal. So I think it used to be 2 hearts, and now it's 1 heart.
I wonder why they did that. Ocular Rift is a pretty good item, as long as you're not Tainted Lost.
I think because it can fling enemies into you, sometimes.
I feel like why didn't they just fix that?
True. Maybe it's meant to be a part of the item. Like maybe it's meant to.
No, it's
kind
not.
Of screw you over something.
That is. I refuse to believe that. That is definitely unintentional.
Anyway, where do you think this goes? I could honestly see whatever for this. It's like I could see. Whatever.
It's funny because you'd think it would be a lot more relevant, but like, I feel like, cost of the items in the Devil Deal just never really mattered that much.
Yeah.
Is that like a crazy take? I don't know. I don't think this is gonna change much. I already think this item's great even at 2 heart charge. Before this video even started, like I was like, wait, it used to be 2 hearts. Like I never knew. I always pick this up. I love this item.
Yeah. A lot of these extra like fixes I kind of just included for the sake of it, just because like, so I'll talk about them briefly. Stuff like this are like, I knew it was whatever. I'm like, yeah, I probably could have just skipped including this, but I'll include it anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not really a big deal. We got some greed mode stuff. So the general stuff that changed with greed mode is they lowered shop price of some items like Paws and D12. That's nice. They removed some fixed several items that were missing from greed mode's item pools. So they like fixed the item pools. They removed some items that shouldn't be in greed mode. Like Goat Head, D7, Pokego, Child's Heart, and stuff are now unobtainable in greed mode.
Nice.
Made the Amnesia and Triple Question Mark Pill unobtainable in greed mode. Just making greed mode not have useless things is probably a good thing. So
that's good. I think that's probably more noticeable than the enemies rooms. Probably. Maybe not.
I actually say I'd say it's mid, maybe. But
I think it's the same
like
tier. I think it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
It's a mode. It's a mode
nice.
change. It's nice. Yeah.
They did, and like if you also include the ultra greed changes where like the shadows are a bit easy to see, they made greed mode a bit more. You're not gonna get useless stuff. Made it like a little bit more fair. It's nice. It's not massive, but it's pretty cool.
I'm definitely cool with that. Yeah.
Thank you, Edmund.
Thanks.
And then the last one. Okay, there's some other stuff here like they lowered some mimic charges like Solid Judas, like whatever. Oh yeah, I forgot to include that they increased the damage of they increased the health and damage of Wisp when using Mega Blast and Delirious with Book of Virtues.
Insane.
I don't know how I missed that one. Okay. Yeah, they added a small amount of boss armor to Blue Baby, the Lamb, and Mother.
Okay, this
is this last one.
This depends on how much. I will say for a very long time, because I mean we've been debating this game for so long now. It's hard to not think of the like original final bosses to not be irrelevant. It does depend on how much boss armor it is, because it does say slight, right? Small amount of boss armor. I actually wonder if the boss armor is enough to make you like feasibly lose to Blue Baby or the Lamb. Because as it is currently, like at a higher level, like you're never gonna lose to those bosses. Not really. To Mother, I honestly don't care. I think if you are at Mother, I've said this for a long time actually. I don't think Mother's that hard. I think the Mother run is hard. I don't think like doing everything to get to Mother is what's hard, and then into a pretty, like, you know, a solidly difficult fight, right? I don't care that much about the boss armor on Mother. I think adding it to Blue Baby and the Lamb specifically could actually make for, you know, maybe making the fight a little bit more relevant, and I think that's a good thing for the game. I don't know how much boss armor it is. I would say it's more relevant than these, though. Because these are final bosses. They're just irrelevant.
I think, yeah, it's... yeah, they didn't have any boss armor before. I did just check. I just wanted a sanity check. Yeah, they don't have... The Lamb or Blue Baby don't have any boss armor, and Mother does actually already have a fair bit of boss armor. It's a little bit weird they're adding more to Mother, but I can kind of agree with it, because it making the Mother fight a little bit harder does make sense. But yeah, adding boss armor to the bosses that didn't have it before.
I think it's good.
Yeah, like, the regular paths, the regular chest and dark room paths are really easy. And I don't think this is going to make them not easier. They're still going to be easy, but it's a little bit more.
Maybe we'll actually sweat. Maybe we'll actually sweat a little bit for that final fight, right?
Yeah.
I actually cannot remember the last time that I've gone into the Lamb or Blue Baby and actually was worried. Like, I can't.
Yeah, 90% of the time you nuke him.
Yeah.
He just dies.
So, I mean, hell, if they have none, a little bit, that probably makes a kind of decent difference, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's the list. Any massive changes, or think we're all good?
Well, no.
It was fun to talk about the changes. I liked it.
Yeah. Don't take this list too seriously. Normally, I think we were caring a little bit more about the items, but when we get to the general changes, we're kind of just throwing things around. Which, I mean, this list is meant to just be like a general feel thing. It's more of a discussion. It's more of this is more of an excuse to discuss the items and the changes, not really to actually rank them. We might do a proper ranking video soon. Once we actually have the game to actually test it out, because yeah, some of these we have to kind of, I guess, like with Lil Portal, for example, we don't really know what they mean. But maybe it sounds really cool.
We will rank the buffs. We'll do that soon after. We want to try out some of the item differences. I especially want to see how the Lil Portal works.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about that. I think, God, I mean, and hell, like for that list, it would be, again, that's exactly like character buffs, where we'd be ranking based on the impact on that item, like basically how bad was the item? A bad item turned into like a really broken item. That's absolutely top of the list. I would imagine.
Lil Portal probably tops that list, because I think Lil Portal actually sounds really good now.
It does.
And Lil Portal before was really bad.
It sounds really, really good. So yeah, I think there will be a lot of different spot changes. I mean, hell, even stuff like the bean here. Like, now it's actually usable, you know?
I actually think it might raise... it's still inactive. Actives kind of have the unfortunate problem of always kind of being bad, because you want to replace it
but it's a solid buff to a bad item. So, like,
I think if you get Bean or Kidney Bean early in a run, it actually might help you out.
Yeah, so, like, even though, like, let's say... so, like, theoretically, if Delirious is, like, now one of the most broken items in the game, I'd still rank Lil Portal above it, just because I think Lil Portal was maybe worse than Delirious.
I think that's a bad example, because I think Delirious was probably worse than Lil Portal.
Maybe you're right, actually. Yeah, you're right. I noticed after I said it. I was like, wait, never mind. This is a bad example.
I think a better example would be something like Milk versus Lemon Mishap.
Yeah.
In this list, we ranked it at the same because the Milk buff was creative. But Milk, it wasn't the greatest item of all time, but it was still basically a tears up in every final boss fight, because you get hit and then you get a tears up for the rest of the fight. That's okay. And Lemon Mishap was useless.
Yeah.
But now, Lemon Mishap actually seems more useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's relative to what it was before.
I respect that. So be excited for that list if you want to hear us debate the actual, like, difference in placements. We're going to play around with the items a little bit, see exactly how they work in the online update. Let us know in the comments if you want to see maybe some online content, like some actual gameplay content between me and Turt. I'd be curious to see. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, everybody. What's your final meme here? What do you got for me?
I don't know. It was meant to be the Book of Virtues one or the Eden Hairstyles one, but I already said them during the video. So everyone, flame me in the comments for leaving out Eden's hairstyles in the list. I'm sorry.
I cannot believe you messed up Eden's hairstyle. Actually detrimental. That's so
Why did I not put that on the list?
A little bit of an addendum here for y'all. So we actually tested in the online update some of these different items. we found out that Lil Portal does not work as we thought it did. What we thought of was
for some
way
reason
cooler.
the patch notes say items, and to be fair, it did say when it sucks up items, so I could have inferred from that they meant consumables, but no, Edmund, consumables are not items. Why would you say items? That's just misleading.
That was misleading. We were thinking of a way cooler item.
So what it actually does, and it's still actually fine. I think it goes in pretty cool still. It's still a massive buff to this item. What it actually does is you can kind of drop cards in that room. Like you can, you know, you might have like an I'm drowsy pill. You know, I want to use this I'm drowsy pill at the end of the run. Right now I have like a reverse stars card that I want to use in my angel room. So you drop your I'm drowsy pill in the little portal and you come back for it at the end of the run. That's still good. That's actually still very good. It's just, it's not items and it's not Tainted Isaac effect like we thought it was.
Yeah.
Because it said literally items.
God, it would have been so cool the way we were thinking of it.
I did think, like, how does that even work? Like, doesn't make sense. I don't know how you would drop your items. This makes more sense.
I thought it would be like a death cert. I thought it would be like a death cert room.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't know, like maybe your items spawn, all your items spawn in that room, and then you just pick up the ones you want to keep. I don't know, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is fine, I think. This is probably a more accurate ranking of it.
Yeah.
Deadbird probably could go to, like, top of mid, because it turns out...
The issue with Deadbird is it doesn't work on Soul Heart characters at all. You have to be exactly... Wait, no. You have to be exactly half heart for it to work. If you're a red heart character, like Eve, this is really on Eve. If you're on Eve and you got rid of all your red heart containers from a devil deal, like you got rid of all of them, and you just have soul hearts now, it doesn't activate unless you're on half a soul heart. But it will activate if you're on one red heart and a bunch of soul hearts.
Yeah,
so it's a bit...
I think that's a shame. I do still think that just because Eve exists, it probably deserves mid, because your early game... Honestly, you're probably only gonna, like, you're still gonna bring yourself to one red heart for early game Eve runs. So I think it's fine. It'll sweep through your early game rooms. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not super relevant.
I mean,
it's not a super relevant item, but...
That is true. Deadbird damage is not going to matter late game anyway.
It's true.
So early game, this is a huge buff to Eve.
Yeah. That's really what I rank it as. I'm not really ranking it as Deadbird. I'm ranking it as... Just as a whole, what this item means for the game and how this buff was, yeah, I respect it as a very slight early game Eve buff. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Right? That's fine. And with that, I think most of everything was fine. We also tested a little bit of Abyss. Flies
Abyss
were
looks really cool.
Yeah.
It seems like every bomb upgrade with Abyss gives you an explosive.
That was crazy. He spawned a yellow fly, and every single time the yellow fly exploded on contact with an enemy. It seems really OP.
It's like the best friend, the like explosive decoy, and it gave me an explosive fly. I sucked up Mega March and it gave me a giant wisp. That was funny. Giant locust. That was funny.
Yeah, that's really cool. But yeah, that's basically it. Everything else, just first impressions for y'all. Hope y'all liked the video. I will say, quick little link for y'all. Y'all should check out this video. How Variety defines Isaac, Binding of Isaac analysis by 2 Wiggly. I'm gonna leave a link to it in the description. Check out this video. He's a very great member of our community. Really helps us out a lot for the list as well, and testing items and such stuff like that. So I would appreciate y'all if you check out this video. With that said, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Later, Manners.